70 WDAY. The opinions expressed on the Jay Thomas Show are the opinions of the host, participating callers, and/or listener emails, texts, and/or letters, and are not necessarily the opinions of WDAY or Forum Communications. WDAY 970 AM and 93.1 FM invites you to make your opinion known. We pride ourselves on exploring all viewpoints on any topic.
Do you know who I am? I don't know how to put this, but it's kind of a big deal. People know me.
I'm very happy for you.
Jay Thomas Show, good afternoon, and welcome to the program. The Super Bowl hangover. More talk about the halftime show, Kyle, than the actual game. It was a halftime show. And by the way, 102 million people viewed the Super Bowl. All right, on Friday's program, remember we talked about the truck routes in West Fargo, and the truck drivers are upset. They're concerned about how they can get to and from. Try to get somebody on from the city of West Fargo to talk about it on Wednesday or on Friday. But everybody was out. There was all kinds of stuff going on. Reached out today. Still having a difficult time getting somebody on. But I did get some stats when it comes to the amount of tickets that have been handed out to truck drivers that are on streets that they should not be on. I got those from the city of West Fargo. So we'll hit that about 2:35 this afternoon. I'll give you an update on that. Also, coming up, love this gal. She's a great lady. What she's done with her life is just impressive. Mariah Prusha is going to join us here at 3:05. Rob, she, I don't know if you out there know who she is. She's very well known in the area, region too. She's one gal you don't want to tango with, man. That's for sure. But she's been named 2020 North Dakota Mother of the Year. So she's going to come hang out with her a little bit this afternoon. It's going to be
who is this now? I missed the name.
It's Mariah Prusha. She's very well known in the area and the region, for that matter. She's a mixed martial artist, fighter. She's got a gym. She's just she's a great gal.
Cool.
But she's been named Mother of the Year. So anyway, she's going to join us. It'll be interesting because I'm going to ask her take. If she, I've got to believe she's watched some of it. If not, the halftime show. Boy, people are just losing their minds over that halftime show that was on last night during the Super Bowl.
What happened? I didn't watch the Super Bowl.
Well, you had Jennifer Lopez and was it Shakira? I think that's how you pronounce her name. A couple of Latin gals, ones in her 40s, ones in her 50s. They got up on stage. Not that should matter, but everybody's commenting on their ages and how well they looked and how well they could move. And they got up there and really did a halftime show, dude. Let me tell you something. It was wow, to say the least. And many people are upset, saying that kind of stuff should not be shown on television. We're talking strip and pole on stage. We're talking grabbing crotches, slinging crotches into the camera. It was quite the show, that's for sure. So
well, now I'm sorry I missed it.
Well, believe me, you can find it online, Rob. Not a problem, dude.
Sounds delightful.
You know what? I wasn't looking. I wasn't watching. Go, oh my God! I can't believe they're doing TV. It's a halftime show. You know.
Is anybody ever happy?
Things have
with
changed.
Is anybody ever happy with the halftime show?
No, they're not. And anyway, well, I'm going to dive into that later on this afternoon. News breaking just as we're coming on. Whether you like the guy or not, it's a sad story to hear. And he announced it at the end of his nationally syndicated show. Rush Limbaugh announced at the end of his show today he's been diagnosed with advanced lung cancer.
This has to be a new development because he just signed a new contract last month.
Yeah,
and
he did.
I don't know that the actual. I think Trump actually dropped the dime on it. He said he was a 4-year contract, but I don't know that officially they announced it. But I mean I don't know that you do that if you're that sick. You know, I mean I don't know. That to me makes it seem like this was something he just found out about.
That's kind of what I'm wondering too, because you're right. He did the new contract. And
I didn't listen to his show today, but
I don't listen to his show. I just had listeners reaching out to me. So did you hear the news? Then Alex, Mama, she started messaging me and It's like, oh, okay.
I mean, Rush, like any figure. I mean, and listen, on any given day, I have people who one day, love everything I write, and then the next day can't stand me, and they're going to unsubscribe to the newspaper.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just goes hand in hand with this business. I didn't agree with everything. Talented dude. I mean, you want to talk about? I mean, I came up new media, blogging, and all that. What Rush Limbaugh was able to do with a newspaper and his voice.
Yeah.
Was amazing. And again, love him or hate him. I'm obviously a conservative, so I like the guy. I remember sitting in the back seat of my parents' car in Alaska, listening to this guy, and it struck a chord with me at the time. I mean, I'm gonna Rush Limbaugh is probably a big reason why I do what I do today.
Rush Limbaugh changed talk radio. I worked at a radio station. Now, this was years ago before deregulation, and you could only have an AM and FM. That was the most that you could own as an owner in a market. And we had an AM-FM combo. That's what they're called. And our AM side was one of the very first stations in the country to pick up this new syndicated talk show host, Rush Limbaugh. And that was back in, I want to say, I don't know, that was the late 80s, I think. Because prior to Rush, there really wasn't, I don't know what there was on the radio for political talk. I mean, I didn't follow politics then, and because back then, you had the Sally Jesse Raphael radio show. You had, I think it was Bruce Williams and TalkNet. I think that's what his show was called, and I know those because that's all my mom would ever listen to when she was in the car. Were those and then Rush came on and really changed everything. And you're right, Rob. Whether you like the guy, dislike him, don't like his politics, whatever, that man changed the face of talk radio. Completely changed it.
I think, yeah, just from a talent perspective,
yeah.
You got to look at him and just say, wow.
Yeah.
And is there anyone else really like him? I mean, has anybody else in that medium achieved that level of success? I mean, it's
the only one that's come close, you can't even put him in the same arena, two completely different types of shows, but got to say Howard Stern.
Howard Stern, yeah,
yeah,
obviously.
For sure,
yeah.
Howard Stern, yeah.
Yeah. Although in both similarly, I mean, Howard Stern, somebody, like, his interviews are amazing. What he teases
the
out
guy's
of
a fantastic interviewer.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. And Rush Limbaugh, and again, I mean, both very polarizing figures, love him or hate him. And both, by the way, the same appeal. I mean, just they used to call it with the Howard Stern effect, where people would listen just to be upset about it. And I think Rush Limbaugh had the same thing. People tune in just to be upset about something he had to say. And that came in. I mean, for conservatives, Rush Limbaugh was really, obviously a conservative complaint, and we're in the fake news era now, and so a lot of this has gotten very crazy. But when Rush Limbaugh came up, I mean, it wasn't for conservatives to get a conservative point of view on what was going on in the world, in the news. Rush Limbaugh for a long time was all we had.
Yeah,
he was all we had. If you looked at the world conservative, and I'm not saying that's the one right way, but if you wanted to be able to look at current events through a conservative window, Rush Limbaugh was it.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. He was the only thing out there. He was the only game out there. Jerry Moorhead, Jay Thomas Show.
Yeah, I must have missed the part where you were talking about Rush's cancer. That's one of the things I was going to talk about. But another thing, too, on this halftime show, I mean, had the director kept the cameras back to a modest view, there wouldn't have been such an uproar. Because, I mean, you have 11 guys bent over on the line of scrimmage. You don't see that camera behind the quarterback zooming in that damn close.
Well, of course you don't. But
if the quarterback was built like J-Lo,
yeah, then they'd be close up. Let's be honest. You have two absolutely stunningly beautiful women on stage, very talented. Guess what? That's what the cameras are going to do. And I think what people don't realize, who is in charge of the Super Bowl halftime shows now. He signed the deal back this summer, early fall.
Harvey Weinstein?
No, yeah. Yep. Jay-Z. Jay-Z is in charge now for quite a while. He signed a big, long contract with the NFL. His company is in charge of the entertainment for the Super Bowl for years to come. So I mean,
he has like an agency. Like, he reps talent. Like, I know he had a sports agency for a while. Like, he has professional athletes.
His company is called Rock Nation.
Yeah.
They entered into a long-term partnership with the NFL as the league's official live music entertainment strategist. One that's aimed to nurture and strengthen community through music in support of the NFL's Inspire Change Social Justice Initiative.
Shakira didn't make you feel nurtured, Jay?
Stop it. You're going to give me trouble for it.
Kept his blood pressure up anyway.
You're killing me, guys. You're killing me. You're killing me. Thanks, Jer. Appreciate it.
I didn't even watch this. I'm commenting on this blind. I didn't even watch the show.
Well, we know what Port's doing after our segment's done. All right, listen, it's coming up on 2:16. Let me take a break. We'll come back. Again, if you haven't heard the news, conservative radio show host Rush Limbaugh, who really changed the face of talk radio back in when he started in the 80s. He announced at the end of his show today he has been diagnosed with advanced lung cancer. A very shocking announcement for, I don't think, Rob, just as fans, but everybody. I'm so, wow, holy cow.
He's
right,
68 years old.
68, okay.
Not that, too young.
No, that's young still. Let me take a break. We'll come back more with Rob Porter Weekly Chat. You can jump in anytime, 293-9000. Toll free, it's 1-888-970-9329. Email studio, it's talk at WDAY.com. This is The Jay Thomas Show. And 221. Welcome to your Monday afternoon. Jay Thomas Show. Kirsten Keeley later this afternoon. La-di-da.
Time was drifting. This rocket got to roll. So I hit the road and made my getaway. Restless feeling really got a hold. I started searching.
Right now, the adorable Rob Port on the program.
I'm watching. I got the halftime show on YouTube.
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
sorry. Let me give you a couple.
Well, I don't see what the big deal is so far.
It's
wait.
funny because
oh my.
Oh my, right? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh
boy.
It's the
Who's the goofball
a lot of the people
in the
that
silver
are
trench coat? Who's that guy? I don't even
in
know
the
these
silver
people.
trench coat.
Yeah. Am I watching the right YouTube channel? Yeah, this is it.
You'll
Shakira, J-Lo. Yeah, I hope I'm on the right one.
Yeah, you're on the right one.
Some weirdo in a.
It's how can they do that? Families are watching. It's just it's
not that bad.
It's a halftime. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
And
how many?
How many
argument? Yeah.
The whole Me Too thing. Well, what will happen? What about the Me Too?
Well, what about it? Like women can be sexy in public
That's
without
right.
people getting harassing them. For crying out loud.
These are two talented, very talented women, and they're up there. This is what they do. They entertain.
Yeah.
And people are losing.
The same people that are complaining about Shakira and J-Lo are the ones that were praising Adam Levine being half naked last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
They were praising him?
It's like,
who's
they loved Adam Levine half naked, but if Shakira wants to shake her butt on,
well, that's horrible.
That's terrible.
Let me tell you something. Do you know how well in shape you have to be? Do you know the talent you have to have and the shape you got to be in to do what those two were doing on the stage last night?
And what people don't get too is that Jennifer Lopez just came out with a movie called Hustlers, where she plays a stripper. Hence, that's probably why she was doing pole moves at the halftime show.
Like soccer moms do, like pole dancing. It's like the new yoga or something.
The pole dancing is like the new thing. I don't know if they have it around here or not, but yeah, it's a new type of. Well, I don't want to say new. It's been around now for a few years. Type of workout that women do, and you've got to be in phenomenal shape to be able to do that. And let's not forget Jennifer Lopez. Where did her career start? You guys know? She was on In Living Color as one of the fly girls, one of the dancing girls. That's where her start. That's where she got started, and that's what she does. She's a dancer.
That's right. I forgot about that. It still cracks me up that Jim Carrey was on that show. By the way,
he paid that fireman guy, whatever the character's name was.
Oh my god!
And then who are the two that did Men on Film? Oh my god!
That was it. Oh god, that was such a great show. I don't know. I'm watching this. I'm watching this right now. I don't. And again, I'm pretty libertarian, and I don't see anything here that's all that bad.
No,
these are beautiful. Hey, big surprise, beautiful people. You know who they don't want out there is a bunch of people who are built like me dancing around,
or me.
Right?
Yeah, they don't want people look like you or I out there dancing around.
We're very good on the radio, where nobody can see us, and that's great. Boy, here comes J-Lo. Oh boy.
Okay, easy now.
Alex Rodriguez is a lucky man.
That's her man. But there's oh my God, this is the kids were watching it. Well, then you should have took the kids out of the room or changed the channel. nobody's forcing you to watch it. And then you got the comments. Well, I'll watch the halftime show and they bring back the Rolling Stones or George Strait. Guess what? That ain't going to happen.
That's less offensive.
They want
Night of the Living Dead.
They're grabbing the younger crowd.
I'm sure Jay-Z has them at the top of the list.
Yeah, exactly. They want the younger crowd that they're going to grab and hold on to for 20, 30 years.
Sure.
I mean, would I like to see the Stones at halftime? Sure. Do I mind last night's halftime show? I mean, it's not my type of music, but
am I going to go out and buy a J-Lo album? Not anytime soon. Does she do album? Does she do music, or is she just?
Yeah, I think she just put another album out. I think she did.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Probably not going to do it. Do I want to watch her in these chaps for a while? Sure, I'll do that. That's.
I just whatever. People looking for anything to get offended by.
People, sex exists in the world.
That's right. It happens. That's life, and nobody forced it. Nobody forced these women to go on stage and do this.
What's that Will Ferrell line? Keep thinking that's how babies are made.
You're terrible, man.
Well, everybody in the state of Kansas is really happy. So.
I think
actually,
I think I'm enjoying this more with the sound off. I think I'm enjoying this more than I would with the sound on. Man.
All right, Rob.
All right.
Let's.
I'm sorry.
Let's get to.
God, we are off the rails. All
Jeez,
right.
Let's see. Email comes to that dude in the silver trench coat. Looks like he had a. I better not finish that email on the radio. Thanks, Kurt. All right. So I had no idea because I'm not a big gambler. But once in a while, I'll drop a couple bucks in on some pull tabs.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, Rob, reading your piece that you did, how well these E-tab, what do they call them? E-tab? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, E-tab.
E-tabs. Yeah, these pull tab machines. How well they're doing in the state of North Dakota, and it's taking a bite out of the casinos in the state.
It may surprise people to know just how much revenue gambling generates in North Dakota. So right now in North Dakota, it's just charitable. Probably most people know this. It's just charitable gaming, right?
Yeah.
So you go in, maybe your local bar has like blackjack, pull tab, stuff like that. The legislature in 2017, they made legal what's called electronic pull tabs. And essentially, I mean, if you've seen one of these things, it essentially looks like a slot machine. I realize there's probably gaming experts out there who could point out all the differences. As a practical matter, you look at it.
But they do.
They look and function basically like a slot machine. I mean, that's kind of how I say it.
You're just basically hitting them, I think, and it just shows you if you're a winner right away or not, like as if you were pulling up tabs.
Legislature passed that bill in 2017. So from 2015 to 2017, licensed gaming in the state of North Dakota, which is basically all that charitable gaming that's happening in the local bars or whatever, $500 million in that 2-year period. $569 million. That's a 2-year period. The 2 years after, it actually went up 52%. $852 million in charitable gaming in the state of North Dakota. Now the tribes, and we all know that the special carve out that the tribes have because of their unique.
Started in the 80s, I think.
Yeah, their unique jurisdictional situation. They allow gaming, and what they really rely on is the fact that for the most part, gambling was prohibited in North Dakota. But as we ease up on that, they're losing revenue. The Spirit Lake Casino, which is the Spirit Lake Sioux by Devil's Lake, they lost 42% of their revenue in I think it was 2019. Yeah, so they are.
How about Dakota Magic? Do you got numbers on Dakota Magic?
I don't.
I know.
I don't, and I should know. A lot of the numbers are from Natasha Rausch's. I just commented on it. A lot of the numbers are from a very excellent article by our reporter Natasha Rausch. But the issue is obviously for the tribes. I mean, because they're in a situation where a lot of them lean pretty heavily on that casino revenue.
They depend on that money, yeah.
But as the state of North Dakota, where we're marching towards is more and more legal gambling in our state. The tribes are losing revenue, and they're concerned about that. And I mean, that's going to be an interesting policy quandary. Is how do we get to a situation where we're not hurting the tribes, but if North Dakotans want to legalize gambling, we should legalize. Obviously, it's popular. I mean, $852 million. How many industries do that kind of revenue in the state of North Dakota?
Kidding. And you know, look what these tribe casinos are bringing.
Yeah.
I mean, a ton of money.
And I don't think people realize, like, there's a couple of, you go into your local bar, there's a couple of blackjack, tables over in the corner or something. Are you realizing how much revenue that's pushing? Because it's really pushing, and it's all charitable. In North Dakota, has to be a charity that sponsors it, and they get the revenue or whatever. But it is a lot of money. So it's an interesting thing, interesting policy question.
Well, the tribal casinos, they're just going to have to kick it up a notch. They're going to have to figure out, okay, if this is the route they're doing in North Dakota, and it's taking a bite out of us, what can we do to get more people through our doors?
They probably face the same issue. Like the state of North Dakota is hugely dependent on oil tax revenue. In fact, I'm getting some. Mike Williams had a letter to the editor, and I'm getting some numbers to sort of rebut some of the things he said. But what people are telling me unofficially is about 60% of North Dakota's tax revenues come from direct taxes on oil and gas. Well, the tribes, too, are in the same position. You got all your eggs in one basket. It's not a good place to be. You got to diversify. North Dakota needs to diversify. The tribes need to diversify. Easier said than done.
This comes in from a female listener. I thought they were awesome, referring to the Super Bowl halftime show yesterday. And I'm a few years older than J-Lo and just a bit jealous.
Yeah.
I was tired just watching them. Yeah, I mean, people are just having a fit over the Super Bowl. So it's like, give me a damn break.
And Kyle makes a good point, too, because I've seen some of the dudes in these shows. Nobody gets upset when it's like some rock star guy and he's got his shirt off and he's in the tight leather pants. I'm sure there's lots of women. That's not my thing, but I'm sure there's lots of women and some men that like that. Great.
Some guy's up there grabbing his junk and nobody has a fit, but God forbid if, a gal's up there and she hand goes anywhere near there. Oh, my God. Here goes the name calling, and she's a horrible woman, and it's just, and then everybody was having a fit. Shakira did this tongue thing to the camera.
I saw that.
Well, and then find out that has to do, I can't pronounce these words. It has to do with her father. He's Lebanese. It's part of the Lebanese culture. You use your tongue to howl or something. People were just taking it way out. They were just going off the deep end on this half. Again, would I rather see the Rolling Stones?
We talk about this every post Super Bowls. You know what I did like though? I liked the Groundhog Day commercial. I thought that was great. Also my favorite movie of all time. So
I like the one with Jimmy Fallon working out. That one I thought was pretty good.
I didn't see that one.
That was a good one. All right, Rob, what's coming up on the next Plain Talk podcast, the world famous?
Well, I am working, actually, Scott Davis is going to be on about this tribal issue. He's North Dakota's Indian Affairs Commissioner in the Burgum administration, so he's going to be on to talk about this tribal gaming issue. And I'm also working on the Democratic, that just announced Democratic candidate for Shelley Lenz for governor, working on getting her on this week as well.
All right, you can check that out. Plain Talk Podcast. Also, check out
J-Lo.
Rob's,
I'm gonna try to get J-Lo too.
You're gonna try to get J-Lo. Well, I was gonna carry over for another segment, but I know you want to get back to finishing that halftime show.
That's right.
On your computer there at home. All right, Rob. Always a pleasure. We'll talk next week, buddy.
Talk to you later.
All right, WDY time. It's 2:32. This is the Jay Thomas Show.